Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about the weaning process with Eren, and I thought I would document a little bit of it for you guys. So this is kind of like a vlog style video as we go along, so I hope you enjoy. I hope you find something entertaining or helpful or something in there, so let's hop right in. Okay, it's day 2 of beginning the weaning process, and it is going wonderfully. We've been up for maybe 20 minutes or so now, and Eren asked for a boob once while we were getting dressed, but he just kind of like mentioned it. He didn't really like dwell on it or anything, and I didn't answer him or talk about it at all. He just kind of like was wandering around and said boob, and that was the end of it. And that's awesome because yesterday, our first day of starting the weaning process, he literally cried the whole time we were getting dressed, the whole time I was getting dressed, while I was brushing their teeth. Like, it was literally like 20 or 30 minutes of him just crying and asking for the boob. And I just kept telling him, no, not now, we can have one later. No, not now, we can have one later. And I was so proud of myself, honestly, because I didn't lose it on either one of them. I was very calm, and I tried my best to just not really ignore him, but just try not to get all irritated by him. And so yesterday was hard, but this morning is going really, really well, right, Eren?
Yeah.
So yesterday I started off by sitting Eren down on the potty first thing, which is what we've been doing for a couple of weeks now, trying to get ready for potty training, potty learning. And he was very upset, and he usually is upset about that anyway, even though he didn't know that he wasn't going to be getting a boobie. So we read a little story while he was sitting on the potty, and then I think we read another story too to kind of distract him, and he calmed down a little bit after we got through those stories and talked about the book and stuff like that. Then we got dressed and brushed our teeth and did our hair and all that kind of stuff, and I even went to my room to go get dressed and everything, which he cried the whole time I was getting ready myself too. So, and then when we came downstairs, I immediately started breakfast. Most of the time we will come downstairs and I will nurse him, and then when he's done nursing, then I'll get breakfast ready for both of the boys. So yesterday morning, I went straight into making pancakes for the boys, chocolate chip pancakes, one of their very favorites, and it seemed to keep him at least a little bit distracted to have the pancakes. He was watching TV while I was making them, and then he had pancakes immediately first thing in the morning, and he did ask for the boob a couple of times, but I just told him, not now, we can have it later. And that's pretty much the sentence that I said a million times yesterday. And he asked a lot in the morning because his morning boobie is his favorite dependent boobie. And he did ask a lot for it, and he would cry a little bit for it. But then around like, I feel like it was maybe like 10 or 11 o'clock-ish, and he asked for one, and I just said, no, not now, we can have one later. And he just walked away. He didn't argue with me or cry or freak out. He just was like, okay, and left. So in the morning, when we were down in the living room after breakfast and stuff, he would ask occasionally, and I would just say, no, not now, we can have one later. And then I'd go find a little book for us to read and try to distract him with reading a story and then talking about the story. Sometimes when you can like open up the pages and just look at the pages and ask him like, hey, what's going on here and what's going on here, it can help take his mind off of things, and so he can tell me about the story and get less concerned about the boobie. So that was our strategy yesterday, just telling him we can have one later, and then sometimes offering to read a story and talk about the story to distract him. No. What's he doing? He heard cat, yeah. Yes. What should he do instead? Pat the cat, yes. So to give you kind of an idea of Eren's situation, he is almost 26 months right now, and he usually has a boob first thing in the morning, around lunchtime. If he's looking a little tired and I think he might take a nap, I'll give him a boob to get him down for a nap, and then at bedtime. So he's essentially down to 3 a day, and I'm trying to get down to just 1 a day, probably bedtime, because morning time sucks because he's so like, I need a boobie before I can even function, and it just is really hard for me to get dressed and to get them dressed and ready while he's like crying the whole time asking for a boobie. He like demands his boobie first thing, and that's just really stressful for me, and a terrible way to start off the day every day when he's just like in such a bad mood until he gets his boob. So I really want to cut that one out. And he's been very weird about his naps lately anyway. He usually only takes like maybe one a week, and so he doesn't usually take that nap time midday boobie much anymore, so I think that one's pretty easy to cut out. So we're just gonna be doing nighttime for a while, and I do love nighttime boobie. I love being able to put him down so easily and gently and calmly by having a boobie before bed. That is just my favorite one, so that's the one I want to keep for a while now. And we'll see how long. I did have a goal, like, by my birthday, which is in August, to have him totally weaned, because we do want to start trying for number 3 this fall, and I would like to not be pregnant and nursing. That's really my goal. And I don't know, some days I just feel like I just want to get it over with. I want to get done with it, but since yesterday, I feel like I can handle the nighttime. Nighttime is fine. You know, it's a really nice way to calm down from the day, and I think we can do nighttime for a couple of months and see how it goes. So I'm just going to be documenting how we're getting rid of those other 2 ones, which are going to be, especially the morning one, those are going to be the hard ones. And then I will do a totally other video when I finally totally wean him, maybe, if you guys are interested in that. So for right now, we're just going from 3 feedings to 1, and I'm going to be showing you the process. So yeah. All right, it's day 3, and Eren woke up quite a bit early today. He woke up at 5, and my husband went in there to go and try to comfort him a little bit, because usually if he wakes up a little early, I would go give him a boob and try to see if he'll go back to bed. And my husband went in there and tried getting him to calm down, and he was just not having it. So I went in there and got him. Cal was already awake because he was woken by Eren's crying, and we all came downstairs at 5 a.m., didn't get dressed, didn't do anything, just came straight downstairs, and I got them some breakfast, got them some food, let Eren pick out. He just ate like chocolate graham crackers, not the best breakfast, but that's what he chose. I let him choose that just to keep him happy. And so they sat on the couch and they ate their little breakfasts, and I tried to avoid Eren. So usually I would sit in my little spot on the couch, and he would come to me and nurse in that little spot. And he knows that that little spot on the couch is like the nursing spot. So I tried to avoid sitting there, so not to remind him of the boobie. So I was in here putting away dishes from last night, just kind of starting laundry, just trying to not sit down on the couch next to him, right? So once I got some of my morning stuff done and it was time for me to kind of sit down and relax, I didn't sit in that spot. I sat a little bit over from that spot, and I got some books for us to read. So we read a little bit. He wasn't too into reading, but he was very calm and didn't freak out or anything. And then after that, I needed to get him out of his nighttime diaper and like get him dressed for the day. So we did that, and I gave him an iPad to distract him while we did that, because sometimes he just isn't a fan of first morning diaper changes. He just wants to relax and doesn't want to be touched or moved about and stuff. So I gave him the iPad for a little bit so he could watch some little kids YouTube videos while I got him dressed and changed his diaper and all of that stuff. We didn't try to potty on the potty, even though we are kind of in the midst of working on pottying on the potty, but he just didn't seem like he was in a very good mood, so I didn't even push it on him this morning. But he has asked for the boobie a couple of times in kind of a whiny voice, but he hasn't been crying or freaking out or anything. But he has asked for it, and I didn't address it the first couple times. I was still like getting everything ready in the kitchen and whatnot. And then this last time that he did ask for it, I just said, okay, not now, but later. And then that's when I introduced the books and tried distracting him a little bit. Okay, let's do another update. It's Monday. And the last time I updated you was Friday, so we have to talk about the weekend. Saturday morning went fine. My husband was home on the weekends. He has a regular, Monday through Friday job. He was home. So he was able to kind of help me with the boys this weekend for the morning. So he was able to distract Eren and keep him occupied for Saturday morning. But then around lunchtime, Eren started getting a big attitude, and we hadn't yet tried nap time without a boobie. And he just, every little thing was making him mad, and I was like, man, this baby needs a nap, but I really don't want to do it, because it's either going to be him screaming and throwing a fit for half an hour trying to get him to go down, or him having an attitude for the rest of the day, right? So I was like, okay, I'm going to try to put him down for a nap, and I felt like I had a newborn again. Like I was rocking him in the rocking chair and laying with him and holding him and standing and swaying with him. Like I tried everything. I felt like I had a newborn again. He was not having it. We eventually finally, we both fell asleep actually. So thank goodness my husband was home and he was with Calvin while I was dealing with Eren. But he was throwing a fit. He was freaking out. It was half an hour of crying, trying to get him down. So that was a big struggle, but we did it without a boobie. So Saturday sucked. Yesterday was Sunday. Yesterday went really good. I don't even know if he really asked for a boobie much until we got to like dinner time and he was starting to get tired from the day and almost ready for bed and stuff. So yesterday went really well. This morning has been really good. He did ask for a boobie once or twice, but he doesn't like cry about it anymore. It's not like, OMG, I gotta talk about the boobie for an hour. He just kind of mentions it every once in a while and I tell him that we'll do it later, and it's been really good. So as long as we don't need to take a nap, I think things are going pretty good. But like I said, he's been really sporadic with his naps anyway. He's just kind of, it just depends on the day and stuff. And he slept in a little bit this morning, so hopefully he won't need another nap today. So yeah, sometimes things suck, but for the most part, it's going more smoothly than I thought it would. So I've mostly learned that it has a lot to do with me. Yes, Eren asks for the boobie a lot, but it's really up to me to be the one who doesn't give in to him. And that's, I mean, I knew that, but it's just really becoming very evident that I have to be the one who decides when it's boobie time. All right, this morning has been a little bit tougher than usual, but I kind of attribute that to me trying to get Eren back on the potty. For all the other days, I put potty training on the back burner. I really didn't mess much with it, especially like first thing in the morning trying to get him to sit on the potty because he's already not in the greatest mood because he wants his boobie. And so I just didn't even mess with potty training a lot over the last few days. But this morning, as soon as he got up, I tried putting him on the potty, and he did sit on the potty and he calmed down while we read a little book on the potty and all that stuff. So it was okay, but he has had a little bit of an attitude this morning. And I just wanted to mention that I was putting potty training on the back burner because it just felt like it was a bit too much change for him at the moment. So we're just not hitting potty training like we had been the previous couple of weeks since I decided. Because for a couple of weeks there, we were working on potty training, and then all of a sudden I got the idea to do the weaning thing, and so I just kind of like threw potty training out the window a little bit and didn't mess too much with it until just this morning, and it's still very early this morning, so who knows if we'll even continue with the potty training thing today. I just didn't want to have him in an attitude because I was making him get on the potty, because he already is not a fan of the potty, and then also he's not in a good mood because he's not getting his boobies. So I just didn't want like really angry Eren all day. So we've been kind of tossing it aside. It's okay, we can have one later. It's okay, baby. We can have a boobie at bedtime, okay? It's okay. Can you sit by me? Hey, you want to read? Do you want to read this book?
No.
We can read this book. Callie, you want to come read with us?
No. 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 I want to read it. I want to read it.
Oh, and I forgot to mention one thing. Last night and the night before, Eren woke up in the middle of the night. He was up at like midnight and 1 o'clock or something, and that was really weird, but I did give him a boobie in the middle of the night to get him to go back to bed so that we weren't all up listening to him scream, right? So him and Calvin share a room now, and it makes us more eager to go to him quickly when he starts being upset, because I don't want him to wake up Calvin and keep Calvin up. So I did give him a boobie overnight, 2 nights now, and I don't know what that's about, and I hope it does not continue. So yeah, that's just another extra little update. So it's been over a week now, and things are going easier than I thought they would be. The last couple of days, Eren hasn't really done much more than just ask for a boobie in the mornings. The mornings were really what I was super worried about. And he's only taken 1 nap the whole time I've been doing this. It's Friday now, so it's been maybe 8 days or something that I've been doing this. So yeah, things have gone easier than I thought they would. I know it's still a process. He still does ask for a boobie every once in a while, but he's not
like throwing fits every morning. He's actually been very cheerful and happy on a lot of the mornings, which has been really nice lately. So as long as we like go downstairs and get breakfast ready and just get them kind of settled in the morning, he's been really good about it. You know, not like throwing a fit while we're brushing our teeth or throwing a fit while we're getting dressed or anything. He's been pretty good. So it's going easier than I thought it would, especially after that first day. If I would have had many of that first day, like him screaming and crying the whole like 20 minutes while we're getting ready every morning for like many days in a row, I don't know if I would have continued with this weaning thing. So thank goodness he finally like broke that. He only acted like a crazy person that first day, and then his first like nap time too. So I tell him things like, we're just only having boobies for bedtime. We're only having them for nighttime, remember? And he'll just kind of accept it. So that's been really nice. So yeah, it's really just about me being the person who, you know, lays the groundwork and says, no, we're not going to have a boobie right now. We can have one later. So it's really just about me making that decision to, you know, stick to my guns and like actually not give in and give him a boobie. So it really comes down to me personally. He didn't have a good time in the beginning, but it really hasn't been that bad overall. So I hope this video was at least a little bit helpful or entertaining or something for you guys. If you did like it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up down in the comments below and let me know your weaning plans. I know every baby is different. Definitely Calvin weaned himself at like 15, 16 months. So I didn't have to really worry about this kind of stuff with him. And Eren is over 2 years old now. And I was just ready. I was ready to get rid of especially the like morning time thing. That's what I really wanted to get down to. So now we're down to just evenings, just bedtime. And if he happens to like wake up overnight or something, I will give him a boobie then. And that's what we're going to stick to for a little while. I think maybe a couple more months of this or something. And then I'll be ready to fully get rid of the weaning or get rid of the breastfeeding thing, so, and totally wean him. But I'm not totally ready to like completely wean him right now. I'm very happy with just doing nighttime. I love nighttime feedings. They're so calm and serene and just like a really great way to wind down from the day. And so I love the nighttime feedings, but I was ready to get rid of, you know, the stupid morning ones where he just like throws a fit until he gets a boob. So yeah, I hope you guys found this video a little bit helpful, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.